Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, this is BMC Durfee High School, home of the Hilltoppers, and today the Brockton Boxers come down 24 South, hoping to get back on track. They are the losers of two straight, a heartbreaking 21-13 loss against BC High, and a 14-0 shutout last week at home against Severian High School.
Colors for tonight's contest are members of the Durfee High School
Durfee Hilltoppers undermanned, seemingly as always,
please rise and remove
as
your
we
caps
kick
for the
it
playing
over
of our national anthem
to the
by
Durfee High School marching band for the national anthem. Could you hear any of that when he started talking? So Brockton coming off of that 14-0 loss to Severian, a game in which they completed 5 passes out of 12 attempts the entire game for 69 yards. The quarterback, Devontae Medley, was sacked twice for losses of 12 yards. And Brockton was injured last week. A number of their starting players did not play, including Michael Norman, the starting quarterback, Isaiah Laguerre, the #1 wide receiver, and Derek Williams, the second, the senior running back, who in week 1 had 174 yards and 4 touchdowns. He has been unseated by the now suspended Amik Watterson on the suspension list this week. David Belsius, Amik Watterson, and Sten Bruno, the tight end, fullback, and punter for the Brockton Boxers. Those guys handed 2-game suspensions prior to the
Hilltoppers will kick off. Number 17,
Severian
Joseph
game.
Rodriguez Figueroa to kick off for Durfee.
Figueroa to kick off for the Hilltoppers. The senior listed as a running back and defensive back, and he squibs it. It is botched by the Boxers, who then proceed to fall on it. And Brockton will have their first go of things at the 36-yard line.
Rodriguez Figueroa's kick recovered by Brockton.
Michael Norman is in at quarterback.
36-yard line. Boxers will start first down and 10 at their own 36.
So 1st and 10 Boxers, the guys to watch on offense. I'm sure lighter loads for them. Michael Norman, Isaiah Laguerre, Derek Williams. And number 25, Johnny Horn, first pass complete to the far side, a gain of about 6 yards.
Michael Norman's pass complete to number 81, Adamola
Filet on the opening reception of the game.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down and 4.
Boxers with a 2 wide out set, both to the near sideline. Norman under center. Johnny Horn, the lone man behind Norman. Durfee expecting the run, and they get it. It's Horn up the middle. He's got a first down, and more lowering the head, getting across the 50 to the 48.
Carried by number 25, Johnny Horn.
So it's a 1st and 10 Boxers on the Durfee side of the field.
Boxer first down into Durfee territory.
Spotted at
1st and 10 Brockton at the Durfee 48
of Durfee. By formation, they give to Horn, who cuts to the far side, spinning, and he falls across the line of scrimmage for a gain of about
Johnny
1.
Horn on the carry.
So Horn with all the carries.
Gain of about a yard, 2nd down 9.
So far, as Amik Watterson is still suspended, and Derek Williams may come in a little bit later if he is healthy enough. Norman back to pass. Under pressure, he's complete to number 88. That's Navon Reed. And he's across the 35 for another Boxer first down.
Norman's pass complete to number 88, Navon Reed.
So we've seen a revolving door running back for the Boxers.
Flag on the play. Holding against the Boxers.
As this play is coming back for a holding called against the Boxers. Derek Williams had that phenomenal week 1. Not much work since then. He's got 22 carries on the year, 186 yards. Watterson, 14 carries for 104. Johnny Horn, surprisingly with the most amount of touches, 31 carries for the sophomore, 160 yards. And Atkinson,
after the penalty,
7 carries for 41 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 19 for the Boxers. 4 wideouts set, 2 split to each side. Norman in the gun, back to pass, over the middle. He's got, that's Adamola Filet back across the original line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd
Norman's
and
pass
about
complete
6.
To number 81, Adamola Filet. Gain of 12 on the play. 3rd down and 7.
Both teams with the same school colors. Durfee wearing red jerseys, black pants with white numbers, white outlines around the black numbers. The Boxers in their home whites as Norman's hit from behind, and then
Norman is sacked in the backfield by number 14,
he
Joe
got kind of
Medina.
flipped around and tackled weirdly, and he looks a bit shaken up as he's going to the sideline. It will be a 4th and
Loss
long.
of about 7 on the play, brings up 4th down and 14 for Brockton.
So it'll be 4th and about
Number 1,
14.
Carlins Jean back to punt for
Carlins
Brockton.
Jean back to punt as Sten Bruno is on that suspended list.
Elijah Concepcion back to return for the Hilltoppers.
High snap, Elijah Concepcion back to receive. It's a high and short kick that will take a phenomenal Brockton bounce back to the 20, where it is touched down by the Brockton
Jean's
special
punt
teams.
Is down by the Boxers inside the 20-yard line. Hilltoppers will start 1st down and 10 at their own 19.
And so we flip the roster over to the Durfee side of things. Number 10, Niger Montero, your starting quarterback, only a sophomore. And Elijah Concepcion, the senior, had about 20 carries the last time these two teams met last year. The senior, by far the number 1 offensive impact on this Hilltoppers team, and he's got it off the first carry. Splitting to the far side, and he is brought down after a gain of about 4.
Number 28, Elijah Concepcion on the carry. Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down 4.
Lucas Rock, also the senior co-captain running back, expected to have a number of carries out of the backfield as well. That'll be his second and about 4 to go for the Hilltoppers. The Boxers in their road white jerseys, maroon stripe down the side of the pants, and black trim around the maroon numbers as it's Concepcion up the middle for a Hilltoppers first down.
Concepcion on the carry. Gain of 6 on the play is good for a Durfee first down. First and 10 Hilltoppers at their own 31.
First and 10 Hilltoppers from their own 31-yard line. 2 wideouts to the far side, 2 running backs. It's Concepcion and Rock. Hit immediately, brought down for no gain was Concepcion.
Gain of 2 on the run. Second down and 8 for the Hilltoppers.
Credited with a gain of 2, so a generous spot from the referees. On that one, it's second and 8 to go for the Hilltoppers. 5.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless between the Big 3 divisional rivals. Of course, the Big 3, a very weird division. We'll get into that a little bit later with the playoff format as Concepcion busts up and off to the far sideline, and he's about a yard shy of the first down. It'll be third and 1.
Carry.
The Boxers and Hilltoppers, the winner of this game, is guaranteed.
Gain of about 6 on the play. Brings up third down and 1 for the Hilltoppers.
At least a share of the Big 3 division
title. Their own 40-yard line.
Because Durfee doesn't play New Bedford until Thanksgiving. And that's after the playoffs have already ended. So the Big 3, if Brockton loses to either Durfee or New Bedford this week or next week, there will be a split division title as far as the playoffs are concerned, and depending on the spot, Durfee might have a first down.
Quarterback keeper by Najir Montero is good for another Hilltopper first down.
Najir Montero on the first down carry for the Hilltoppers.
First and 10 Hilltoppers at their own 43.
So if Brockton, again, loses to either the Hilltoppers or the New Bedford Whalers next week at home, the winner of this game, or that game for that matter, will be guaranteed half of the Big 3 divisional title. Because the MIAA playoff format makes Thanksgiving absolutely pointless.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
Concepcion up the far sideline for a gain of about 5. It'll be second and 5.
Around the 48-yard line, second down and 5.
Of course, Durfee and New Bedford, teams that Brockton has had not a lot of problems with in recent memory. 2 years ago, right here at Durfee High School, was the game that Brockton was up 28-0. And Durfee stormed all the way back to tie it up, and Brockton eventually scored the winning touchdown to win 34-28. Concepcion a gain of about 2. It'll be third and 4.
Carry by number 3, Lucas Roque.
Lucas Roque on the
gain of about 2 on the play. Will bring up third down and 3 for the Hilltoppers at midfield.
A lot of news out of this city in the last couple days. Get into that a little bit later as well. Third and a long 3. We'll call it about 3.5 to go. 2 wideouts to the near side. Montero under center, pitches it out to Concepcion. He's going to be dropped in the backfield for a big loss, about 5 yards, and he was brought down awkwardly.
Tackled in the backfield. And number 43, Giovanni Brown.
Giovanni Brown on the tackle for Brockton.
Loss of 5 on the play. Brings up 4th down and 8 for the Hilltoppers at their own 45.
And instead of being in a position where they might have thought about going for it on 4th down, now Durfee lined up to punt on 4th and 8.
Number 6, Jaden Lewis, back to punt for Durfee.
And it is number 12 back to return the punt for Brockton. That is Devin Fortes, meaning Laguerre is most likely out this game. And the kick is blocked. It's blocked, and Brockton has 5 men in. They're going to pick it up and attempt to run it back. They get all the way to the 10-yard line before being brought down.
The punt is blocked by Brockton. There are flags on the play.
Flags all over the place, and judging by Matt Campbell standing about 5 feet from me, that flag is going to go against Brockton.
Call is offsides against Brockton.
Offsides against the Boxers is the call, so Durfee will...
5-yard penalty will bring up 4th down and 3 for the Hilltoppers at midfield.
Ultimately negates the sack with a loss of down. So now Durfee looks like they're going to line up and go for it. Brockton stacking the box, expecting a run by Elijah Concepcion. That's indeed the way it goes, and he's going to be stopped. Oh no, he bounces off the tackler, and he's got a big gain. Not only a first down, but he's down to the 26-yard line of Brockton, and that's a big first down for the Hilltoppers. Lucas Roque on the carry. And that's got the Durfee fan base fired up. And a timeout is called. We have an injury on the field. It is a Hilltopper that is down.
Gain of 24 on the carry is good for a Durfee first down. Injury timeout.
Durfee Hilltopper that is down is getting a lot of attention by a lot of different people. Now it might be Rock, who was brought down awkwardly by a couple of Boxers. It is the senior wideout who hobbles over to the sideline favoring his right leg.
We love Lucas! We love Lucas!
We love Lucas, the chant from the Durfee student section right under us.
First down and 10 for the Hilltoppers at the Brockton 26-yard line. Timeout, Durfee.
And Durfee's going to burn a full timeout here with 1:38 remaining in the first quarter. In a 1st and 10 deep in Boxer territory, they are at the 26-yard line. Lucas Roque, a phenomenal run on 4th and a long 3 to set the Hilltoppers up. This is the right leg of Lucas Roque that is being worked on the Hilltoppers sideline. Fall River is a town that has been in the news a lot within the last 2 or 3 days. The 26-year-old mayor, I'll say that again, 26 years old, the mayor, first elected to office at 23. That in itself is impressive. But he was arrested by the FBI among numerous other federal agencies for wire fraud, tax fraud, defrauding investors in the company he founded, Snow Owl, which promised to link companies with the consumer's target
First
audience.
and 10 Hilltoppers at the Brockton 26.
In fact, a city council meeting happening at the same time as this game as it is Dit Alvin.
Carried by number 1, Alvin Ditt.
Alvin Ditt, who was brought down for a
Tackled in the
5-yard
backfield by number
loss.
50, Sagun Okunlola.
Sonny Okunlola on the tackle for the Boxers.
Loss of 5 on the play. Second down, 15 for the Hilltoppers at the Brockton 31.
Brock is running on the sideline, so it looks like he will be able to come back in this game at some point. Second and 15 to go for the Hilltoppers. One wide out to the far side. Alvin, the man in motion, the give to Concepcion. He's hit and stopped by the defensive line of Brockton at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a gain of about half a yard. It'll be 3rd and about 14.
Third down and 14 for the Hilltoppers.
So it is
at the
3rd and
Brockton
14
30.
for the Hilltoppers. They now spread things out a little bit. 4 wide out set. Brockton might call a timeout here. They do not. They give to Concepcion, who has a big gain, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, depending on the spot.
Concepcion
He's down
on the
to the
carry.
19. Going to be 4th and a
That
long
is the
2.
end of the first quarter.
Clock hit zeros in the first quarter, and we are scoreless, 0-0. Brockton and Big 3 divisional rival, the Durfee Hilltoppers, going at it. So we'll switch sides. Durfee will be spotted at about the 20-yard line. It'll be 4th and a long 2. If I haven't mentioned it yet, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, bringing all the action from high atop Durfee High School's athletic fields, a beautiful complex they built down here. So the marching band is going to treat us to Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, it sounds like. A first for the Mad Dog. I've never heard this in marching band form.
It'll be 4th down and 2 for the Hilltoppers at the Brockton 18-yard line.
Hilltoppers. Durfee lined up to go for it, trying to make the Boxers jump off sides. Brockton very disciplined now. Durfee's going to have to call a timeout. Excellent discipline by the Brockton Boxers there not to jump off sides. And now Durfee would seemingly punt.
Timeout, Durfee.
So it's 4th and 2. Niger Montero trots back out, so it looks like Durfee's going to go for it here. It wouldn't shock me if they tried to do that again. And Concepcion has a first down across the 50.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
First and 10 as the Hilltoppers
Gain of 5 on the play is good for a Hilltopper first down. First and 10 Hilltoppers at the Brockton 13.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 13. Durfee can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Not something that normally happens, but they do have a full 3 yards to work with after the sticks. One wide out. The man in motion. Brockton jumped, no flag. Concepcion hit at the line of scrimmage. Brought down for a yard loss.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry. Gain of about 3 on the play. Second down, 7.
We're going to give him another generous spot before he bounced back and was taken down by the Boxers. It'll be 2nd and 8. Two wideouts to the far side, 2 to the near side. Durfee looking to air it out here. Flags
on the play.
Came in from the secondary. It's going to go against Durfee for illegal formation.
Delay of game against the Hilltoppers, 5-yard penalty.
Delay of game. Anytime the Hilltoppers have had a 4 wideout set, there's been a penalty, and they have not gotten to the line in a
at the Brockton 15-yard line.
Quick enough, urgent enough action. So here we go again, 4 wideout set, stacked behind each other on both sides. The give to Concepcion, throwing the Boxer defense off. It's a gain of about 6. The ball might have come out at the very end there.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
Durfee falls on it. It'll be 3rd and about 7.
Picks up 5 on the play. 3rd down along 7.
Big 3rd down
at the Brockton
for
10.
The Hilltoppers, even bigger for the Boxer defense. .8:25 and counting left in the first half. Still scoreless here at Durfee High School. One lone wideout to the near side. Now Montero back to throw and almost caught.
Montero's pass incomplete, intended for number 1, Alvin Ditt.
Incomplete, intended for Alvin Ditt, who tried to make a spectacular one-handed catch. It fell out of his hand. And the Durfee coaches to the right of us screaming, use 2 hands.
Brings up 4th down and along 7 for the Hilltoppers at the Brockton 10.
It makes it 4th down and about 7.5 to go for the Hilltoppers. They have to get to the 3 for the first down or the end zone. And they're going to call a timeout with 8:07 to go in the second quarter.
Full timeout, Hilltoppers.
So if that was a big 3rd down for the Brockton defense, this is an even bigger 4th down. If you come up with the stop, then you're backed up pretty deep in your own territory. Probably within the 10-yard line, staring at a long field. If they throw it, which is likely, then you have a chance for an interception and what could be a pretty big return. I would expect Brockton to have a semi-spread defense, rush 4. And have a deep 7-man secondary to prevent 7 yards from being gained in the wrong direction. So it is Montero in the shotgun with 3 receivers and a tight end. Back to pass. It's an interception. The Mad Dog called it. Splitting out to the near side to the 15 all the way back to the 20.
Montero's pass is intercepted by number 32, Aaron White.
Aaron White on the interception for the Boxers. For those keeping score at home, what did Mad Dog say before that play? I think it was something along the lines of they'll intercept it and have a decent return to back them up, not inside the 10. So the ball spotted at the 20-yard line.
Brockton will start first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
7:56 to go in the second quarter. First and 10 Boxers. The snap to Norman. He gives it to Johnny Horn, who has a first down run all the way up to the 34-yard line.
Johnny Horn on the carry for Brockton.
No running back not named to Johnny Horn has
Gain
touched
of
the
14
ball
in the
tonight.
play.
Gain
Brockton
of 14.
first down.
Sticks were not reset, but the play goes off nonetheless. It's Horn again. He's got a gain of about
Horn on the
4
carry
this
again.
time. So Horn looking to pad his stats. Trying to catch up to the big guys at the top. Senior Derek Williams, 28 carries for 226 yards. And now it is
Norman's pass complete to number 5.
Jameel Atkinson catching the pass, and a big gainer to the near side.
He is pushed out of bounds at the Hilltopper 31. First and 10 Brockton at the Durfee 31.
You know, I was wondering why I didn't see any yellow flags on the first couple of this. Horn splits out to the far side. He's got a hole. Johnny Horn is a flag thrown in all the way close to the goal line.
Number 25 of Johnny Horn on the carry.
Is stopped at the 4-yard line, but a flag thrown in from the secondary.
Flag on the play.
Now it's Lucas Rock being carted off.
Holding against Brockton.
So it's holding against Brockton, the run coming back. Lucas Roque is being carted off of the Durfee sideline back towards the high school where the locker rooms are. He is the second leading rusher tonight for the Hilltoppers. He seemed to be doing okay on the sideline, running back and forth, stretching it out.
After the penalty, it'll be
not come back
first
in the
down
game.
and 20 for Brockton.
So it'll be first
At the
and
Durfee
20,
41.
negating what would have set the Boxers up with a first and goal on the 4-yard line. Lots of penalties the last couple of weeks for Brockton. Fillet, the lone wide out to the nearest side. Back to pass Norman over the middle, and he's intercepted. All the way back to the 35, the 40.
Norman's pass is
Durfee.
intercepted by number 17, Joseph Rodriguez Figueroa.
Joseph Rodriguez Figueroa, the kicker, coming up with that interception for the Hilltoppers. Snagging it, arms at full extension over his head. And a big interception as the Boxers were threatening.
First and 10 Hilltoppers at their own 41.
Four wide out set, man in motion and makes trips to the near side. They give to Concepcion, who is hit immediately and keeps the legs churning, a gain of about 2.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry. Gain of 2 on the play, second down, 8.
So it's Durfee coming up with the big interception of Michael Norman, who did not play last week. Two wideouts to the far side. The offensive line had some confusion, and now Concepcion dropped for a 2-yard loss. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Concepcion on the carry. No gain on the play, third down, 8.
Now it's Najir Montero comes hobbling over to the sideline. He might be banged up a little bit. See him favoring that left side as he trots back to the huddle. Isaiah Thomas, the next quarterback on the list. Alvin Ditt also listed as a quarterback, as is Kevin Strong. Montero to pass. Across his body, he's almost intercepted. Couldn't close the hands. Incomplete. It was number 35, big number 35. Achunuiki Wanodi.
Brings up 4th down and 8 for the Hilltoppers.
The Durfee fan base screaming Butterfingers. Maybe they didn't see what happened at the goal line on the other side of the field. With a one-handed attempted reception that went right through a receiver's hands. Almost blocked again, as this one is returned by Brockton. It is Devin Fortes up the Brockton sideline.
Return by number 12,
across
Devin
the 50
Fortes
to the 45-yard line. Four and a half minutes to go in the
He steps
first
out of
half.
bounds at the Durfee 49-yard line. Brockton will start 1st down and 10 at the Brockton. Brockton will start 1st down and 10 at the Durfee 49.
So Medley last week starting in place of Michael Norman. 5 completions on 12 attempts, 69 yards. 35 of those yards coming on 1 reception. Interesting to see how the Boxers utilized Tejan Darty-Glenn in the second half. Now an end-around give to Adamola Filet, and a late flag thrown in.
Number 4, Ted Tessa on the carry. Flag on the play.
Holding against
Call
the
is holding
Boxers
against
will back
Brockton.
them up another 10. It'll be 1st and 20. First and 15.
After the penalty, it'll bring up 1st down and 16 for Brockton at their own 45-yard line.
Boxers again in penalty trouble early. Filet the lone wide out to the near side. They give to a Johnny Horn, who is back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Number 25, Johnny Horn on the carry. Gain of 6 on the play, brings up 2nd down 10.
Second and 10 for the Boxers. I formation. Norman in trouble, pressured from behind. He's going to throw it and complete.
Norman's pass complete
To number 18.
to number 18, Trey Chula Hall.
There's Trey Shula Hall. Whistles all over the place. Brockton's going to call it a full timeout here.
Gain of about 2 on the play will bring up 3rd down and 8. Timeout, Brockton.
So it'll be 3rd and about 8 to go. 3:09 to go in the second quarter.
We'd like to have the members of the homecoming court please report to the side of the field closest to the
Apparently
school
it's
at the end of
homecoming
the bleachers.
here.
The home side of the field at the end of the bleachers closest to the school.
Yeah, apparently it's homecoming here at Durfee High School. I didn't see a lot of people coming home. Brockton's homecoming is next Friday night against the New Bedford Whalers to determine the Big 3 division. And of course, after that is the first week of the MIAA South Sectional Playoffs. More on the format later. We get into it every year about this
for the
time.
Boxers at the Hilltopper
sucks.
47.
Johnny Horn bobbing, weaving, and he's got a first down for the Boxers.
Johnny Horn on the carry. Number 65, Jude Thomas on the tackle.
We'll get into a little bit of the talks that are being
It's a first
had
down for the Boxers
to merge the Old
at
Colony
the Durfee
League
37.
in the Big 3 division. Norman back to pass. He's got his man. And another first down for the Boxers. A quickly developing
Norman's
play.
pass complete to number 88, Navon Reed.
Navon Reed on the reception. 2:47 to go in the second quarter.
Gain of 9 on the play, second down 1.
Split wideouts, the give to Horn. Right up the middle, he's got a gain of about 5.
That was a first down carry for Johnny Horn, gain of 5 on the play, second down 5 for the Boxers. Ball is placed at the Durfee 22.
One lone wideout, it's Fillet to the near side. The give to number 24 now. And he's close to the first down. That is Denilson Da Silva.
Carried by number 24, Denilson Da Silva.
.202 left in the first half. Lucas Roque nowhere to be seen. He was carted off to the Durfee locker room
It is a first down for
towards
the
the
Boxers.
beginning of this quarter.
First and 10 at the 18.
Norman under center. The give to Da Silva. Keeps the legs churning, gets a little help. He's across the 10 to the 7. And he'll be close to the first down marker.
Denilson Da Silva on the carry.
It's going to be an official measurement. A little bit too close to call. So they're going to bring the chain gang out. Oh, they're going to say first and 10.
Down for the Boxers and a timeout on the field called by the Hilltoppers.
Timeout Durfee. I'd imagine they want to have this one measured. And are indeed going over to the officials to plead their case. Doesn't really matter that deep in Durfee territory because Brockton would just go for it on third down anyway. Another Durfee player is going to be carted to the locker room. We'll get you a name and number on that. Lucas Roque has reappeared on the sideline, but he is standing alone on the left side, about 10 yards away from anyone else. There's a Durfee player sitting in the trainer's cart. First and goal to go for the Boxers from the 8-yard line. Power I
First and goal
formation.
from the Boxers.
Play the lone wide out to the near sideline, and now another timeout called by Durfee. Looks like Lucas Roque again on the cart heading back to the locker room. Now the trainer is saying to the coach he may have to take his helmet. This kid wants to play. First and 10. First and goal, rather, from the 8-yard line for Brockton. Norman under center. Clean wideouts. They give to Atkinson right up the middle.
Carried by number 5, Jameel Atkinson.
Whistles all around. We might have a holding penalty. I don't see any flags.
Stopped at the 5-yard line.
Roque is headed
Second
back
down,
to
goal
the
to
Durfee
go for
locker
Brockton
room.
at the Durfee 5.
Power I offensive line shifts. Norman under center, clean wideouts. They give to Horn, who's taken down, no gain.
Nelson De Silva on the carry.
That'll bring up a
Short
third
game
and
to play.
goal from
Third
about
down,
the
goal to go
5.
for Brockton. Timeout, Boxers.
Brockton calls a timeout, 1:03 to go in the first half. On the doorstep, trying to get the first score of the game for either side. Lucas Roque has been brought back to the Durfee locker room again. Maybe he escaped the first time. I think if you're the Boxers, you need to score right here, because if you get to 4th down, I think you got to kick the field goal, take the points going into halftime. Again, the power I, 2 backs, it's Atkinson and De Silva. Norman to pass, he's got a man and not gonna call pass interference,
incomplete.
And it's an incomplete pass.
Intended for number 18, Trey Chulahall.
Trey Shula, the intended receiver, begging for a
We'll bring
flag.
up
He's
4th
not gonna
down
get
and
it.
goal for the Boxers
There was
inside
contact.
the Hilltopper 5-yard line.
So it'll be 4th and goal to go from the 4. Norman comes back out. Maybe try to draw the Hilltoppers off sides here. Power I, Atkinson and De Silva in the backfield behind Norman, who's under center. Norman pitches out to De Silva. He's got a lane. De Silva to the end zone. Boxer touchdown.
Denilson De Silva on the carry. Touchdown, Brockton.
50 seconds to go in the first half. It is 6-0. Boxers on top. And now the question is, do you put in Carlin's Jean to attempt the extra point, who's gone 0 for the last couple of weeks, or do you attempt a 2-point conversion?
Number 1, Carlin's Jean on to attempt the extra point for Brockton.
It is Carlin's Jean who is going to attempt the extra point here. Ball is snapped, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 Boxers with 50 seconds to go.
With 50 seconds to play in the first half, Brockton 7, Hilltoppers nothing.
So Durfee will have one more go of it. I would imagine they take a couple of shots to the end zone. They have a decent amount of time to hawk it up. So make it 8 extra points on the year. The first 6 of those coming in the week 1 game against Lexington, where he was perfect. Durfee homecoming halftime show coming up in a short 50 seconds, at least 50 seconds of game time. I would imagine a squib kick is upcoming for Carlin's Jean.
Carlin's Jean to kick off for Brockton. Back to return for Durfee. Number 28, Elijah Concepcion. And number 1, Alvin Ditt.
A low kick right into the awaiting arms of Elijah Concepcion, who breaks a tackle. Now he's brought down, bled to 7 seconds off the clock on that kickoff.
Concepcion returns out to the Hilltopper 36-yard line.
Getting all the way
It'll
to the
be
36
first
was
down
Elijah
and 10 for
Concepcion.
Durfee at their own 36.
The Big 3 division is going to breathe a sigh of relief when Concepcion graduates in June. Lone wide out to the near side. A stacked line. The give to Concepcion. Brought down
Elijah
across the 40
Concepcion
to
on
the
the carry.
42. Clock running, 30 ticks and counting. No urgency from Durfee, so they might be content to
Gain of 5
go
on
to
the
the
play.
locker room.
Second down, 5.
within a score of the Brockton Boxers. The temperature has started to drop here in Fall River. Getting quite cold. It was 65 when we all woke up today.
That
Timeout
is the
called by
end of the
Durfee.
first half.
Well, the clock's hit
With
zero.
the score, Brockton 7, Hilltoppers 0.
We have reached halftime, folks. It is 7-0. The Brockton Boxers on top of Big 3 divisional rival, the Durfee Hilltoppers. The lone scored Denilson De Silva on a 4-yard run. We're going to step aside and take a quick break and bring you second half action right after this.
I like what you have on.
Okay, right here's fine. Sit.
Yeah.
Nervous, I guess.
A little nervous. It's all right.
I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. Straighten your shoulders. Yes. Smile.
Wait, wait.
Smile. Chin down. Can we get one with teeth? No, you don't like teeth ones. Or you can relax. I'm just gonna adjust for a second.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and your friend wanted to surprise you really quickly.
My friend?
Yeah.
My friend.
Okay.
Hey Sharon, I'm here, it's me.
What's up, Pelvis? It's me, Sarah Lee.
Just wanted to tell you I love you. And you mean the world to me, honestly. I was bullied for 4 years in middle school. And these girls, they would say the meanest things ever. I met you, and when I smiled, you said you had the greatest smile, and it meant so much to me.
You know, I was a jerk a lot of times, and I didn't really treat or say things that were, you know, the best.
It got to a point with my eating disorder. They were like, you have to make a decision whether to eat or you can't come back to school. You just sat there and you listened and you gave me advice. I've never had someone who wanted to like hear what I've had to say. Because of you, I felt more comfortable and I felt welcome being at school, being the new kid, because no one else came up to me the way you did.
I do know what you do for me. Like, I do not ignore it. It's being recorded in my brain. It's in there.
Because without you, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
You're sweet.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Caitlin.
Did you know that you had such a big impact on her life?
I knew that just by being nice to people, I could have an impact, but not that much. Like, I didn't know that those kinds of words would be so impactful on her. So when you have the opportunity to tell somebody how much they mean to you, you need to tell them so that they can keep doing it for other people.
Because of you,
I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because of you sharing your story with me, I feel comfortable sharing my own.
Because you were there for me, I feel beautiful.
Because you were there when I was coming out.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, football fans of all ages, welcome back into BMC Durfee High School, home of the Hilltoppers. We're back for second half action
to kick off for Brockton to start
between
the
Brockton Boxers and the Durfee Hilltoppers, Big Three divisional rivals. The score is 7-0. Brockton on top, courtesy of a 4-yard Denilson Da Silva run. Isaiah Laguerre, Derek Williams, both out for this week, hopefully returning next week against New Bedford. If Brockton goes 1-1 in this Big Three divisional stretch, they will win a share of the Big Three title. Alvin Ditt with it. He is clobbered by the entire Brockton special teams and brought down at the 16-yard line.
Alvin Ditt returns to the 17-yard line. Durfee will start first down and 10.
It is a little bit windy as the temperature continues to drop here in Fall River. We started the game at about 64 degrees. It is now 52. And dropping. Michael Norman returning this week. Missed last week against Severian with an injury. Sten Bruno, David Belsius, and Amik Watterson all suspended for various reasons that we won't get into. Don't do stupid things. Moral of the story. A pass is almost intercepted and then almost returned off the tip. It was 22 for Brockton, Joe Vanille Estrella, who almost came up with the interception, and then after he tipped it, it was almost caught by Jaden Lewis.
Second down, 10.
Again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, bringing you all the action high atop the turf here at Durfee High School. Fall River, a town that's been in the news a lot. Good food down here in Fall River. Concepcion dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
I'd like to thank
No
Patty's
gain on the play, brings up
Pierogies.
third down and 10.
Patty's Pierogies on South Main Street in Fall River for dinner tonight. What did I get? I got a bacon, a macaroni and cheese with bacon pierogi. I got a teriyaki steak and cheese. And I think I got a steak and cheese. Oh no, a bacon cheeseburger. Bacon cheeseburger pierogi. Patty's Pierogi, South Main Street. Referred there by
22nd timeout, Hilltoppers.
my dear mother, love you, Ma, who once showed up at my house with about 20 different types of pierogies. For those of you who don't know what a pierogi is, it's a potato-based dough of Polish descent wrapped around normally cheese and onions. But this place is just taken the recipe and gone off the handles. Similar to Let's Roll egg rolls in Lowell. Instead of like traditional Chinese egg rolls, you can get buffalo chicken and bacon cheeseburger egg rolls. We visit a local restaurant here in Fall River once every 2 years, as this pass is going to fall incomplete. His arm was in motion when the ball fell out.
Montero's pass ruled incomplete. Brings up fourth down and 10 for the Hilltoppers.
Fourth and 10 for the
At their own
Hilltoppers.
17.
Yes, every year we switch off whether we come to Fall River or New Bedford. New Bedford, the choice is easy. Downtown New Bedford, DNB Burgers on Elm Street. Never heard of this before I started going there.
Punt for the Hilltoppers.
They grind up brisket
12,
and short
Devin
rib.
Forbes back to return for Brockton.
And this almost blocked. It might have been tipped, in fact, end over end, and it is fair caught at the 30-yard line. So Brockton,
Lewis's punt.
only 30 yards
Fielded
to the
at
end zone.
30-yard line by number 21, Marquis Dos Santos. Brockton will start first down and 10 at the Hilltopper 30-yard line.
I'm telling you guys, if you're ever in New Bedford, we'll be there week 7 of next season. DNB Burgers, the juiciest burger you will ever have. And you can get poutine there. First and 10 Boxers at the 30-yard line. Norman pitches to a Johnny Horn. Horn cutting in and out, flag thrown in from the secondary. He's got a gain of about 10.
A Johnny Horn on the carry for Brockton. Flags on the play. It is holding against the Boxers.
Holding against Brockton, so it'll come back. It'll be first and 15.
After the penalty, it'll be first down and 20 for Brockton at the Hilltopper 40-yard line.
First and 20 for the Boxers. Lucas Roque carted off in the first half. And then again after he escaped the locker room, as Brockton has a big run on their hands. An end around give that all the way down to the 7-yard line.
Navon Reed.
Navon Reed on the big
gain of 30
for
on the
Brockton.
play.
A very quiet gain of 30.
Brockton first down.
Navon Reed, of course, the starting point guard for the Brockton Boxers men's basketball team. Now 2 wideouts, it's Filet and Reed to the near side.
At the Hilltopper 10.
Norman under center at Johnny Horn, the lone running back. To give to Horn, he's hit and wrapped up immediately. It will be a loss of about a yard.
Horn on the carry. Loss of about 2 on the play, second down 12. Excuse me, second and goal at the 12.
Second and goal at the 12. Brockton next week, New Bedford Whalers at Marciano Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff. As this one almost intercepted and had a clear lane to the end zone, it would have been about a 85-yard run back.
Incomplete.
For the Durfee Hilltoppers.
Knocked down by number 78, Richard Van Cott.
It was Richard Van Cott on the almost interception.
Third down, goal to go for Brockton at the Durfee 12.
Give to Horn, he's trying to turn the corner and does, and he's to the end zone. Touchdown Boxers. Johnny Horn.
A Johnny Horn.
And Brockton goes up by 2 touchdowns. It is 13-0 over the Durfee Hilltoppers.
Makes the score Brockton 13, Hilltoppers nothing. Number 1, Carlins Jean on to attempt the extra point.
Carlins Jean to attempt the extra point, 8 of 9 on the season. Bad snap, but the kick is up. And the kick is good.
Extra point attempt is good.
14-0, Brockton on top.
To play in the third quarter. Brockton 14, Hilltoppers nothing.
So Durfee looking for an answer against the against the Boxers, excuse me. 8:10 to go in the third quarter. They have lost Lucas Roque for the night, as he is not on the Durfee sidelines. Top running back is also the return man. And that, of course, would be Elijah Concepcion, the senior.
Carlin's Jean to kick off for Brockton. Number 1, Alvin Ditt. Number 28, Elijah Concepcion, back to return for Durfee.
Short end over end kick into the wind as that one hit the ground and died at the 20. And that's where it was touched down at the
Jean's
18-ish.
kick rolls out of bounds, flag on the play.
They're saying it got out of bounds before Brockton touched it, so it'll be a re-kick.
Illegal procedure against Brockton.
So now the kick will come from the
After
35,
5-yard
not
penalty,
the 40.
Brockton will re-kick from the 35-yard line.
When shifting a bit, should be with the kick now. Wasn't such a great kick the last go-round for Carlin's Jean. This one much better, higher, deeper. It falls at the 14. It's taken by Concepcion. Out to the 30, the 35, the 40. Brought down at the 37-ish.
Number 1, Alvin Ditt on the return for the Hilltoppers.
Ditt bring it down.
Pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Hilltoppers will start first down and 10 at their own 35.
First and 10 at the 35 for Durfee. Trying to answer a couple of Brockton touchdowns. Two wideouts for the Hilltoppers. Ball is fumbled on the snap, and it'll be about a 5-yard loss.
On the play recovered by Montero. Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd and 14 for the Hilltoppers at their own 31.
Second and 15 to go for the Hilltoppers. Two wideouts to the near side. It is two backs split to each side of Montero. Pitch to Concepcion, back to the original line of scrimmage before he is hit hard by the shoulder pads.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
Of number 12, Devin Fortes. He's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Gain of 8 on the play brings up 3rd down and 6 for the Hilltoppers at their own 39.
3rd and 6 to go for Durfee. Concepcion now trying to get out to the far side. He's brought down for a big loss. It'll be 4th and about 12.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry, brought down in the backfield by number 88, Navon Reed.
Navon Reed on the coverage for Brockton. And
loss of 4 in the play.
Generous spot.
Brings up 4th down and 10 for the
Makes it
Hilltoppers.
4th and 10.
At their own 35.
They're going to punt it here. The first one of the night was blocked. The second one was
Devin
tipped.
Fortes back to return for Brockton.
So we'll see what happens here. Brockton sending everybody in, and it's tipped again and falling short, and then almost fumbled. Brockton returning it to the 41.
Number 21, Marquise Dos Santos.
Marquise
with the
Dos
return for
Santos
Brockton.
grabbing that one.
To the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Brockton at the Durfee 42.
First and 10, Boxers from the 42. Norman back to pass, flags thrown. He's got his man. It is Jameel Atkinson.
Norman's pass complete to number 5, Jameel Atkinson.
Temporarily good
Flags
for a
on the
first
play.
down, but I think it's going to be holding against the Boxers. And everybody else seems to think that way too. A false start. Notice a fair amount of pink on the field. Of course, it is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Not that any show of support is
procedure against Brockton.
better than the other, but I think the state police had the
5-yard
best.
penalty brings up 1st down and 15 for the Boxers.
They painted an entire state police cruiser bright pink. They give to Johnny Horn back to the 41, the original line of scrimmage.
Number 25, Johnny Horn on the carry. Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 9 at the Durfee 41.
I formation, Norman under center, 2 wideouts, 1 split each side. And it's going to be a false start against Brockton. So it'll be 2nd and 14.
False start against Brockton. 5-yard penalty will bring up 2nd down and 14 for Brockton at the Durfee 46.
Two consecutive false starts for the Boxers. 2nd and long, 14 yards to go for the Boxers from their own 40, from the Durfee 46, excuse me. I formation, split wideouts. Norman drops back to pass, looking long, and it's going to fall incomplete.
Norman's pass incomplete, intended for Navon Reed. Third down and 14.
Navon Reed, the intended receiver.
46.
So it'll be 3rd and 14 now for the Boxers. Five wideouts, trips to the far side. Norman in the gun, now man in motion. Under pressure and a completed pass and a first down for the Boxers.
Norman's pass complete to number 88, Navon Reed.
Navon Reed on the big reception for the Boxers.
Gain of 20 on the play. 1st and 10, Brockton at the Durfee 26.
Norman back to pass, throwing over the middle, intended for Ted
Norman's
Tessa.
pass incomplete, intended for number 4, Ted Tessa. 2nd down, 10.
Second and 10 for Michael Norman and the Brockton Boxers. Horn on the end around give. He's got a hole. Johnny Horn to the end zone for a boxer touchdown.
Carry by number 12, Devin Forts. Touchdown, Brockton.
That puts the Boxers up by 3 touchdowns. At the moment, it is 20-0 over Big 3 divisional rival, the Durfee Hilltoppers. 3:47 to go in the third quarter.
Gene on to attempt the extra point for the Boxers.
The Hilltoppers have a skull chant going, and 2-point conversion attempt is fumbled and botched. No good.
The extra point attempt is no good.
It's the Hilltoppers
3:47 to play in the third quarter. Brockton 20,
fan base with a skull chant, a la the Minnesota Vikings. It's interesting. It's a small but lively crowd down there. Of course, the skull chant, you have a leader. Everybody spreads their arms out like this. And then the leader, at the same time as the fans, clap over their heads, yelling, "Who? Who? Who? Who?" Progressively faster and faster as it progresses into a full round of applause. Of course, lacking in this effort by the Hilltoppers fan base is a reason for the applause. They have scored 0 points. They have not done any damage to the Brockton Boxers.
Carlin's Gene to kick off for Brockton. Alvin Ditt, Elijah Concepcion back to return for the Hilltoppers.
Ditt and Concepcion back to return. High end over end kick falling at the 14-yard line, taken there by Concepcion. 3:39 remaining in the third quarter. Big weekend in sports.
To the Durfee 28.
Tomorrow, Boston Bruins, Detroit Red Wings, 3 o'clock.
At their own 28-yard line.
Red Sox Astros at 7. I'm very excited for this series. Sox Astros, American League Championship Series. I'm a food guy, as you may have imagined by watching my broadcasts over the years. My brother's girlfriend is a Yankees fan, and we made a friendly wager on the last series, and now she has to make me brisket. One of my friends is an Astros fan.
Alvin Ditt on the carry.
And we have a bet going for the championship series. If the Red Sox win, I'll have cake to go along with my brisket.
No gain on the play, second down 10.
If the Astros win, I will have to make tacos. Never made tacos before. Could go a lot of different routes. Are they fish tacos? Are they beef tacos? Are they pulled pork tacos? Lots of different options on the table here. Hard shell or soft shell? There's only one option, soft shell. Hard shells are terrible. Everyone knows the rules. In trouble and sacked for a big loss. And a flag thrown in.
Najir Montero sacked on the play.
Najir Montero, a loss of about
penalty flags down.
20. But penalty flags thrown in from both sidelines. Durfee Marching Band playing an all-time classic, Build Me Up Buttercup by the Foundations.
Personal foul, face mask against Brockton.
Face mask against the Boxers, so that negates the sack.
15-yard penalty.
And a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. So people, if you know any Astros fans that want to make a wager with myself, the Mad Dog Matt Nelson, Instagram at Mattman32293. Find me on the gram. Follow T-Bone too. Aaron T-Bone. Very artistic page. Chalkboard drawings. Ginger cats. A little bit of everything on T-Bone's Facebook page. 2:42 left to go in the third quarter. And follow Chicken Bob 10. The most popular cat out of Brockton, Massachusetts. The most prolific cat in the city of Brockton.
First down and 10 at their own 43.
So when all is said and done, it's a swing of about 30 yards from where Brockton could have been right now. And Durfee's got a 1st and 10 as opposed to a 2nd and 35.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry. No gain on the play. 2nd down 10.
2:18 to go in a game that at times has been painful to watch. Two minutes to go in the third quarter. It is 20-0, Brockton over the Hilltoppers. Man in motion, they give to Concepcion, dropped immediately.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
3rd and 10.
Tackled by Armando Walker Jr.
Armando Walker Jr. on
Short gain on the play, 3rd down along 9.
Sunday, also a big day, going head-to-head because the sports gods don't like me. 7 o'clock, Sox-Astros game 2 at Fenway. 8:30 p.m. Perhaps the biggest football game, I don't know, easily the last 5 years. As Brockton
Montero's pass complete to number 12, Cam Rogers.
dropping Cam Rogers for a loss. It'll be 4th and about 12. Biggest football game.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Last 5 years,
4th
not
down
counting
and 10.
playoffs. It's the 3-2 New England Patriots, the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, also known as Kermit the Frog, watches press conferences. They're hilarious. Coming into Gillette Stadium. Bad snap, and it'll be a turnover on downs for Durfee at the 35-yard line. That's
Jaden
where
Lewis
Brockton will take
down.
over. 11 seconds to go
35-yard
in the
line.
third
Brockton
quarter.
will start 1st down and 10 at the Durfee 35.
Pats on the upswing. They've had 10 days to prepare for the Chiefs. 2 wins in 4 days, playing the Dolphins on the past Sunday and then the Colts last Thursday. The Chiefs coming off a Monday night game, so they're on a short week of rest. Five receivers set for the Boxers. Quarterback keeper, I believe that's Medley in.
Number 15, Devontae Medley.
Devontae Medley in for Michael Norman. Really solid strategy here, up a couple of
Gain of
scores.
7 on the play will bring up 2nd down and 3.
The clock's at zeros, and the third quarter has come to an end. It is 20-0. Brockton over Big 3 divisional rival, the Durfee Hilltoppers. Brockton's going to play the clock game for the duration of the fourth quarter. End of the third quarter, we want to thank the cameraman for today's festivities. It is the one, the only, the prolific cinematographer, Professor Aaron T-Bone. Postman, we hardly knew ye. Postman's made one road trip with the Mad Dog. We went to Natick High School in week 2. Every other game except for Natick and Durfee is home this year. 7 home games, 2 away. That, of course, does not include the MIAA's very, very screwed up playoff format. So the seedings will be released next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, after Brockton presumably beats up on New Bedford. We'll know who we play, where, what time. It could be Friday night, could be Saturday. Do we know now? No. Stay tuned. Watch our Twitter feed at The Brockton Channel. We'll be posting screenshots of the brackets.
Carried by number 15, Devontae Medley.
Medley on the end around give up to the 12-yard line.
Down to the Durfee 12-yard line. 1st and 10, Brockton at the Durfee 12.
Presumably Brockton will be paired somewhere in the middle of the pack. They'll come in at 4 and 2, not terrible, but not the best either. Probably matched up with a Catholic Conference opponent, which is always special. Medley up the middle, and he's brought down at the 3.
Number 25, Johnny Horn
on the carry. So it's Medley and Horn in the backfield behind Norman. 2 wide receivers, 1 split to each side. Up the gut, Brockton calling for a touchdown, and no signal yet. And it'll be just shy. So every week thereafter, after that first week of the playoffs, we have to wait till all the games conclude. A penalty against Durfee is declined, so Brockton indeed scores a touchdown. It is now 26 to nothing. Very weird sign from the referee. He signals penalty on Durfee, declined touchdown. Does not look like that's the case. It's 4th and goal from the 3. Medley under center. The pitch to Johnny Horn. He's got a lane cutting in, and he's got it for sure. Touchdown Boxers. 9:46 to go in the 4th quarter. It is 26 to nothing Boxers. So every week thereafter, we have to wait for all the games to conclude, and we are in that season where sometimes the games get canceled because of weather. Hurricane season. The first snow in New England happening this weekend. Up in the mountain caps. New Hampshire expected to get 2 inches. Our very own prolific cinematographer loves snow. I only like the cold for one reason.
Number 1, Carlin's Jean to kick off for Brockton.
I'm a big soup guy.
Alvin Ditt, Elijah
I
Concepcion
love
back to return
a
for the
good,
Hilltoppers.
comforting soup. Yeah, I'm an equal opportunity. It doesn't have to be chicken noodle. Equal opportunity Mad Dog.
Number 1, Alvin Ditt.
That was Alvin Ditt on the return, knocked out of bounds at the 35.
Hilltoppers will start 1st down and 10 at their own 34.
.9:37 to go. It is 28 to nothing.
The correction, 32-yard line the ball is spotted at. First and 10, Hilltoppers at their own 32.
Two wideouts to the near side for the Hilltoppers. Concepcion, the lone running back. They give to Concepcion. He is stopped immediately.
Elijah Concepcion on the carry.
Pile falls forward. It'll be a gain of about a yard.
Short gain on the play. Second down, 9.
And then after the 3 weeks of playoffs for the Boxers, or if you get eliminated, you still have to play because the MIAA thought that was logical. You can complain to them on Twitter at MIAA_033. So if you either don't make the playoffs or lose one of those 3 games
on the carry,
you still have to play. And you could be matched up against Division II teams. You could be matched up against Division III teams. Last year, Brockton traveled to Marshfield
to play, third down, 9.
to play the Rams in Coach Lou Silva's last game. Now it's an interesting experience. Football is tough to watch when the games mean nothing, and the players understand that. They're not going to risk possibly career-ending injuries when there's nothing on the other end. If you win those 3 weeks, however, you get to sit all of your starters on Thanksgiving, which used to mean a whole heck of a lot here in Massachusetts. You get to play all your fourth stringers and JV teams against.
Pass complete to Alvin Ditt.
For Brockton, Bridgewater Raynham. For Durfee, it's New Bedford.
Yard on the play.
Because then the following Saturday, the first Saturday in December,
fourth down,
you go to Gillette Stadium to play in the Super Bowl. And you're not going to...
Number 6, Jaden Lewis on to punt for the Hilltoppers.
You're not going to risk anything or anybody on Thanksgiving because you're not going to injure one of your starters.
Lance Maiden back to return.
There's a battle you can see on the far side. There's cell phone flashlights. And the two fan bases are going back and forth here. Durfee's got their phones out too. Must be a sign the game's almost over, or at least out of reach for one of the teams.
Ticket in tonight's 50-50 raffle. The number is 912 9111. 912 9111. You can collect your prize at the concession stand.
So we'll be home against New Bedford next week, 7 o'clock kickoff at Marciano Stadium. We'll be there for you on Brockton Community Access. The following week, we have no idea where in the state we could possibly end up.
20-yard line.
In years past, it's been Morrissey Boulevard for BC High. It's been Severian. It's been Catholic Memorial. False start against the Boxers. Now we can get really out there once we get, or if Brockton gets eliminated. It's been Leominster, Natick, Marshfield, all over the place. All over the place.
Call is offsides against the Hilltoppers. 5-yard penalty makes it first down and 5 for Brockton.
First and 5
at the
for
Hilltopper
Brockton.
15.
Still on his feet. Still battling is number 14.
Carried by number 44, Brandon Daly.
Number 44, Brandon Daly.
Loss of 4 on the play, second down.
Senior
9.
fullback, and he's built like one too. Lest we forget that the marching band is playing over the plays. They're supposed to start the second the teams line up on the line of scrimmage, or the Hilltoppers could get a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Flag thrown in as Brockton
Carried by number 26,
gets
Noah
towards the line
Olawo.
of the end zone again. That's number 26, Noah.
Flag on the play,
Olawo.
holding against Brockton.
Holding against the Boxers. It's going to come back. It'll be second and about 14. It's games like this where we miss the Brockton High School marching band. It'll be second and about
Second down and
17,
19 from
18,
the 29.
give or take. High formation, lone wideout is Adamola Filet. The pitch to Alowu to the far side, and it'll be a
Noah Olawu on the carry.
third and about 14.
Gain of 4 on the play. Third down and 15 at the Durfee 25.
High formation, they give. Busting up ahead to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth and about 9. The Durfee fan base has gone from semi-paying attention to the football game to singing Firework by Katy Perry.
Fourth down, 10.
I don't know what sparked this. There's nobody on either roster named Firework. The marching band's dancing. This one's gone completely off the rails. Norman is intercepted for the second, Medley rather, was intercepted. Him for the first time tonight, the second interception thrown by Brockton quarterbacks.
Medley's pass intercepted by number 1, Alvin Ditt.
Alvin Ditt on the interception. Silence from the fan bases as there's 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go. Guess you have to say in regulation. Brockton has blown a 28-point lead here at Durfee High School before. It's not impossible. It would take a few small miracles.
Hilltoppers will start first down and 10 at their own 25.
Ball was fumbled initially, and now Durfee stopped. An early happy birthday shout out
Number 48, Jermaine Torres on the carry.
to Brockton High School alumnus Alex Wish. Turns the ripe old age of 26
Gain of a
years
yard on
old.
the play, second down, 9.
October 13th, Saturday. This would football games. He used to be a member of the marching band
Our
playing
quarterback
trombone.
for the Hilltoppers, number 4,
Of course,
Isaiah
the Brockton
Thomas.
High School marching band not here tonight, but Brockton's put up 28-0, 3.5 minutes to go. So happy birthday to Mr. Wish. It'll be third and about 9, 3:15 to go.
Jermaine Torres on the carry, gain of a yard. Third down and 7 for the Hilltoppers.
Third and 7. Clock ticking. Durfee, I don't even think cares about scoring a touchdown. wideouts. Eugene Montero. Hands it off. A loss of about 1.5 yards. It'll be 4th and 9. Durfee's going to punt it, and by the time this one's punted away, Brockton will be able to take a couple of knees, and we'll be able to head back towards Route 24 North.
Number 6, Jaden Lewis, back to punt for Durfee.
What an opportune time to play the final countdown for the Durfee High School Marching Band. Well done. $1:55 left. Brockton will start at the 40-yard line with 1 minute and 48 seconds left. For those keeping score at home, they will have to take it all the way to 4th down.
Brockton will start 1st down and 10 at the Durfee 40-yard line.
That's if they don't try to get 1 first down just to ensure that Durfee doesn't get the ball back. I would be shocked if the refs actually call a delay of game penalty here. Luke Roque, the story of the night. He was carted off the Durfee sideline early in this game, towards the end of the first quarter. Brought to the locker room, escaped to the locker room. Came back out with his helmet on, tested his footing on the sidelines, and then
carried by number 24.
He was spotted by the trainer, who put him back on the cart and took him back to the locker room. Injured right leg for Roque.
3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7, clock running $1:25. Give to number 20, who was brought down immediately. That is Kelvin Rodriguez, the sophomore running back.
Number 20, Kelvin Rodriguez on the carry. No gain on the play, 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, clock running. Brockton could theoretically take a knee here. Medley under center. He will do just that. He takes a knee. It'll be 4th down, but time will expire. The final score of this one is 28-0. Brockton shuts out
final score.
The Big Three divisional rivals, the Durfee Hilltoppers.
Thank you for attending tonight's game. Please drive home safely.
Contributors for the Boxers, Jameel Atkinson. As we go down the list, Denilson Da Silva had the first touchdown, and Johnny Horn had a touchdown. And the Boxers move to 3-2 on the year. Wins over Lexington, Natick, and now Durfee. Losses to BC High and Severian. They head into Marciano Stadium against the New Bedford Whalers next week with a chance to wrap up the Big Three division, automatic playoff berth in the MIAA playoffs. Once the brackets come out, keep an eye on Brockton Community Access's Twitter page at The Brockton Channel. We'll be sending out the brackets and where and when we will be traveling. If we travel, if we're home, even better. Your final score, 28-0. The Brockton Boxers getting the victory over the Durfee Hilltoppers here in Fall River. For everyone here at Brockton Community Access, our cameraman, the prolific cinematographer Aaron Tebow, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, and we will see you next game.